Hey everybody, happy Wednesday. Mark Causey here from Black Cat Comics in Rockin' Milpitas. Every Wednesday's New Comic Day. We're just a week away from the real new comics rolling back in, so this week we're going to get you prepared for the new comics coming back in, give you a few things to check out, a few things to catch up on. It's going to be a pretty small week. There's no Marvels, a lot of DC stuff. Everybody's sort of starting slow, testing the waters, getting you back ready, just slowly but surely. But they're bringing some big guns like Justice League, one of my favorite titles, one of the biggest and best books out there. All the best heroes, all the best villains. Everybody should be reading Justice League. This is number 40. This is your jump-in point. Number 44 comes next week. So if you haven't been reading Justice League, you got a little catching up to do. But pick up the Black Cat pack for the previous arc. Just grab this number 40 or wait for next week's 44 and just jump right in. That's good stuff, along with Justice League Odyssey. This one might be flying under your radar. I don't know that everybody's been following this, but it's got Darkseid in it. Really cool team up, great stories, great art. Dan Abnett writing that one. Good stuff. Red Hood Outlaw will be one of your only Batman books for the week, because they're waiting a little bit before they give us the next issues of the main books, but a little bit more on Batman in just a minute. Deceased Unkillables, the second round of the Deceased book, one of the hottest books out there. If you love the zombie-esque stuff, you're going to want to get up on these guys. Everybody likes the big, cool zombie events. Superman's pal, Jimmy Olsen, one of my favorite titles. Kind of quirky, kind of cool. I don't know even what to say about this. If you like the books that have a little bit of comedy mixed in with your superhero action, you're going to love some Superman's pal, Jimmy Olsen. A little homage to the original series, but you don't have to know too much to get into this one. That'll be your super book of the week. Lots of Joe Hill books next week, like Plunge and Dollhouse Family. Those are the first issues of the series. The new issues, I think number 4, number 5 will be here. If you like the scary stuff, you're going to want to pick up this Joe Hill stuff. Lots of different ones of those coming out, like Basket Full of Heads and some of these others, along with the Sandman Universe books. This is Dreaming number 19. Number 20 will be back next week. Like I say, mostly a lot of DC stuff next week as we get caught up with everything they've been wanting to ship out. Marvel will be rolling out the week after. Along with all that Joe Hill stuff, want to mention the Giants. Batman Giant will be the one next week. This is Superman Giant number 1. Been loving these Giant books. The 100-page Giants have new stories, have awesome reprints in them. Good stuff there. And the Dollar books, the DC Dollar books. There will be another Justice League number 1 rolling out in these Dollar books. Super fun. We got a bunch of these on the website now. A lot of the great classic DC books like Batman 608, Death of Superman, on and on and on it goes for just $1. So you can't really beat that. Be on the lookout for those next week as well. Big week for the Image guys too. Let's start with one of the original Image books. This is Savage Dragon number 247. 248 comes next week. We're getting really close to, of course, the big anniversary issue number 250. Like I say, Savage Dragon is one of the original Image titles and one of the more unique books in all of comics for a number of reasons, particularly because he's had it going in real time all these years, which is really quite a feat for comics. So if you haven't checked out Savage Dragon in a long time, now's a good time to get back in before the big anniversary issue. Deadly Class. It's one of the more popular Image books. You know, there's a reason they make shows out of these things. As I always say, Image does all kinds of cool concepts that the other guys just don't do. Deadly Class is one of them, along with Birthright. Birthright might be another book that's flying under some people's radars, but it's a really cool genre fusion of action-adventure and sword and sorcery and all kinds of cool stuff, because that's what Image does best, is that genre fusion thing. Outcast. This is number 44. Number 45 will be out next week. This is your Kirkman book. For all you Walking Dead fans, you might want to check this one out along with some of the other things that he does. Great week for the Image guys. Kill Whitey Donovan will be your Dark Horse book next week. A good example that Dark Horse does a whole lot more than just Hellboy and Alien and Predator and licensed property stuff. They do all kinds of creator-owned things as well. It's another one that's going to be a movie here soon. Red Sonja, one of my favorite Dynamite titles. Been really digging Dynamite for a long, long time. And number 15 will be out this next week. This is number 14. Give you a little taste of what goes on. I love Red Sonja and Vampirella, Deja Thoris. They do a great job with genre comics. Love me some Dynamite. Buffy the Vampire Slayer will be your Boom Studios book next week. Been talking up all the Whedon stuff, going over to Boom Studios. If you've been watching the Comic Shop Talk on Saturdays, been talking up this one. And Angel, all this Buffy stuff. He started it all over from scratch. So if you're a classic Buffy Angel fan like I am, you're going to want to see what's new, fun, and exciting with the new series. And Doctor Who is your Titan book. Again, this is the last issue. Next issue will be here next week. Everybody loves Doctor Who. Everybody loves the new Doctor. Great stuff. And a good week for the all ages stuff too. Star Wars Adventures. Everybody loves Star Wars. I love the all ages format for Star Wars stories. Clone Wars #1 will be the book next week. A whole separate series for Star Wars Adventures. Everybody's been loving the last season of Clone Wars. If you've been following that, or if you've been waiting to jump into that, going to want to pick up the first issue of Star Wars Adventures Clone Wars next week. Like I say, really fun to get all ages Star Wars stuff. And Marvel Action Avengers. Another all-ages thing. Another thing I've been talking up like crazy is the Marvel IDW Fusion for their all-ages line. They do Avengers and Captain Marvel and Black Panther, Spider-Man, and of course Star Wars Adventures. Good stuff there for you or the young reader in your life. Like I say, not a especially huge week next week, but it's going to be, of course, really fun to get back in the game with new comics. And of course, we'll be back next week to explain all the new stuff to you. Sadly, we will not be doing curbside pickup yet. Our county has not released us to do curbside or any of that cool stuff, but everything will be online. Everything will be packing and shipping next week. And as we wait to slowly but surely get back to normal. Check out all the previous videos from the last few weeks to take a look at other things you can jump into. Check out Comic Shop Talk every Saturday, 2 o'clock at Facebook and YouTube, while we talk about all things comics and answer your questions and queries. Hope you've had fun during this hiatus. I hope you're as excited about new comics as we are. We're looking forward to bringing them to you. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on Saturday.